Good morning from Rome. I am headed to get a coffee. So I thought, as I continue to test out streaming apps, I would bring you along with me. Not the most scenic area, all these garbage cans here. But I am in the Trionfale area of Rome, so it's right behind the Vatican. In fact, I'll show you St. Peter's in just a minute. These are all apartment buildings. There's a school, big grocery stores, a sad little fountain. That's a hospital right there. Nice old apartment building. So not an area most people see. Kind of just on the outskirts of the downtown area. But I thought, why not bring you with me? Oh, here's the Communist Party. They're located in here. You can see Comunista. So that's where the communists meet. I don't think a lot of people realize that Italy still has a communist party. I don't know if they ever win anything, but they exist. Beautiful morning in Rome. Close to 60 degrees, I guess. Nobody out Sunday morning. I think it's like 8:30 here. But I just thought people might want to see a little bit of Rome. I see the Bay Area is here. Texas is here. Good. Okay, so from here you'll get kind of an idea of where I am. Because right there is the Dome of St. Peter's. So we're on the Vatican Museums side of the Vatican. The entrance to the museums is right over there. There's a little playground. So very residential area. There's a theater. That's where they show movies. Not in English though, so they're all dubbed in Italian. We do have a few English cinemas here. More nice apartment buildings. So this whole area is relatively new. You can see a big courtyard back there. Maybe less than 100 years old? I don't know. 1800s. That'd be 150 years old, I guess. And so all these buildings were built to hold people, like big apartment buildings. And most of them are built around a large courtyard. Oh, Scotland is here. Las Vegas is here. Good morning or good night to you. It's late in Las Vegas. All right, so I'm going to one of my favorite cafes for coffee and thought I would bring you along with me. St. Louis is here. Chicago is here. So in Rome, you'll notice I'm at a crosswalk, but there's no stoplight. So in Rome, if there's a crosswalk but no light, the pedestrians have the right of way. So I can just walk out. I mean, obviously there's really no cars coming. You can see one's coming there. But even if there's a lot of traffic, cars have to stop when pedestrians step out into the street. Maryland is here. Idaho. That's exciting. What kind of coffee do I like? I like these pretty flowers. I usually get cappuccino. So I'm not going to this cafe, but this is a really good one. This is Cafe Gourmet. And they have really nice tables inside. They have really good coffee. I just don't want to go there right now. Here's a grocery store. You can see just on this city block here. Hi, Virginia Beach. So just a city block, and then we have a grocery store. So no parking, just on the street. And this is always interesting to people. This is a gas station. So in the city, there's no room for like a big gas station where you would go in and get coffee or whatever. So we just have on the side of the street several pumps set up, and cars pull in and get the gas and go along. So on the highways, we have the bigger type of gas stations where the cars can pull off. But in the city, there was no room to build anything like that. This area of Rome is really nice because, like I said, it was built for pedestrians. So you can see the sidewalks are really big. And the buildings, a little more modern, but they're pretty. They still have that Italian feel to them. How much is gas in Italy? I don't know. I didn't see on the sign. 126 per liter. So that's, I don't know how that translates into gallons. Hi, DJ. Alonzo in Houston. All right. So I mentioned I'm not far from the Vatican. So right down the street, I don't think I can. Yeah, I can zoom in. All right. So you can see there's stairs right there. Those stairs lead up to the entrance of the Vatican Museums. So if you've ever been to Rome, I'm just beyond the Vatican Museums. And this big building here is the Trionfale Market. So we're in the Trionfale neighborhood. And this is, I think, the biggest market in Rome. It's like a big warehouse. So it's closed now because they're closed on Sundays. But let's see if I can get to the door over here. You can see inside. So it's like an open air market, but it's covered. So they have all these big grated doors. You can see there. And then inside there's hundreds of booths that sell fresh meat, fish that was caught like hours before, fresh fruit and vegetables. There's a honey guy. So he has all these different types of honey that's all local to this area. Pretty much anything you need. They also have like shops that sell sewing supplies and buckets. But it's a really nice market. And then you can see there's some graffiti on the stairs. See the stairs there? So we have some really nice graffiti in Rome. We have some garbage, of course, too, but I like how they painted the stairs. So as you're walking up the stairs, you know, that kind of just fades away, but from afar you can see that it's a person. And there's another one over there. A little harder to see because we're at the wrong angle. Anyway, Trionfale Market. Really good place for food. So now we're at the cafe. Fiorentina. I've done several Tipsy Tuesday broadcasts from here. One of my favorite cafes. It's just a fun place. So I'm going to take you in while I get a coffee. And I can also take my mask off in there because I have to wear a mask outside everywhere. All right, so you can see how they have all these tables set up. And this is one of the perks of the quarantine virus is that before they only had, well, you can't really see. They only had space for a few tables. So probably like just these 4 and then a couple more over there. But because of the restrictions of how far people have to sit, how many people are allowed inside, they had to move a lot more tables outside. So they actually have to pay for the space usually on the sidewalk. But Italy has waived all those fees. And so restaurants and cafes can expand even more outside, which is great on a day like this. All right, I'm going to take you in and we'll get a coffee. So you can see Fiorentina. This is a Florentine cafe. The owners are originally from Florence. Buongiorno. Cappuccino e cornetto.
Ciao, buona domenica.
Grazie. Okay. So I'm going to turn you around. No, I'm not going to turn you around. If you notice, I went to the cashier first and I told her what I wanted and I paid. And then she gives me a receipt, which I then take up here and they will get the food. So let me see if they have, you can see all the pastries they have here. How long can you sit outside before they ask you to move? You can stay as long as you want. So I could literally order a cappuccino and then sit at a table for a couple hours. They don't work to turn tables. They just try to keep people happy. So you can sit as long as you want. You don't have to order anything else. So there's more treats over here. It's funny because my wife is commenting, but she's commenting as me, so that's probably confusing to people. All right, look at all these treats they have. This place is known for their little desserts. And they have big ones too. And they also, it's a full restaurant, and you can see they have pizza, they have all kinds of pastries. They have prosciutto hanging up, big wheels of cheese. All right, here we go. So I'll lay this down. Buongiorno. Cappuccino e ananas. And this place has what I call the disco cappuccino machine because it has like this neon in it. So it changes colors. But I always get, this is my favorite thing here. It has pineapple in it. And I'll just turn so I can say hi. Hi. I'm not going to eat in front of you, so I'll turn you back around. But I wanted to say hi so that people could see me. So you know that it's really me. And you can see I took the mask off because once we're at the bar, we don't have to wear the masks. Turn you back around. Yeah, DJ said so in the 80s you could not sit with coffee. So in a lot of the places, if you want to sit with coffee, you have to pay extra for the table. But it's free to just stand at the bar. Or no, it's not free. It's not extra. So this pastry has pineapple inside. Really good. Hi, Jennifer. And usually by this time, this cafe is pretty busy, but not a lot of people out these days. You can see the big plastic dividers they had to put up. Takes away from the ambience. There's my cappuccino. So you have the sugar here, but I never put sugar. A guy over here having his coffee. So like I said, I've done a few of my Tipsy Tuesdays from here because they have a really, really good bar with all kinds of fun drinks. I'm not sure how exciting this is for you while I'm eating. If there were more coffee sounds, it would be exciting. Just enjoy the sounds of the cafe. and then I'll take you back outside. You can see the woman just brought out more pastries. So they make them all fresh here. They have a full bakery in the back. I'm almost done, and we'll go back out. I wish you were here. Hopefully soon you can watch the guy putting the milk in the cappuccino. Almost done. Now I just finished the cappuccino. They don't really do sippable coffee here. Most people just chug it. And we're done. So I always leave a little tip. Prati. Not necessary, but nice to do. You can see the restaurant back here. Let me show you the, so they have wine by the barrel, nice tables, little wine cellar. Do they have donuts? No. That is probably more of an American thing. I'm gonna head back out. That's it. Okay, now we're back outside. Nice little coffee break. Here's a street sweeper for you, cleaning the sidewalks. What time is it here? It is now almost 9 o'clock. Street sweeper. All right, so let's head back towards the Vatican. So again, I can just cross the street, even though there's cars coming, because pedestrians have the right of way. You can see it's fall here in Rome. We don't get as many pretty colors as like the northeast of the US, but the leaves do change in fall. There's the Vatican. See the Vatican over there? That's all part of the museums. Again, I mentioned the Trionfale market. So just to give you an idea how big it is. So this is the main entrance here, but it goes all the way down. So one big fresh grocery store. And because this area is built for pedestrians and they have these wide sidewalks, they also have running and bike lanes. Across the street there, that is a school. I think it's elementary maybe. You can see some artwork in the windows. But really pretty building for a school. Okay, we'll keep walking. And this is a pretty busy residential street. But there just aren't a lot of people out. While the restrictions are in place. Like, we can still go out, but there's just not as many people. Plus it's Sunday morning. Another nice building here. showing off some of the architecture. Nice pharmacy in that yellow building. Okay. All of our dumpsters. You can see that Rome isn't the cleanest city. When the dumpsters are full, people just throw the garbage on the ground, and sometimes they just throw it on the ground anyway. There's a butcher I was going to show you, but windows are closed. More modern apartment buildings up here. Yeah, they do park very close. A lot of times they'll just pull up until they hit the bumper in front, and then they'll back up until they hit the bumper behind. And that's how they get their parking place. Here's a nice building. See somebody enjoying their balcony up on the top floor. From that balcony, they definitely have a view of St. Peter's, because St. Peter's is right behind me. And probably most of Rome they can see from that high up. And then in the distance, you can see Monte Mario. That's one of the, it might be the tallest hill in Rome. There's an observatory up there, which I'll show you. So, the observatory. Yep, plenty of leaves still on the trees, but they're falling. Okay, so now we're working our way back towards the Vatican. Again, not an area that many people see, at least not a lot of tourists, because it's mostly residential, so you don't see touristy shops or anything like that over here. You see lots of clothing stores, like this is a clothing store for the locals. This restaurant here, Dino and Tony, that's popular with our seminarians. So this place is interesting because they just tell you what you're going to eat for the most part. You come in, they give you food. When you finish it, they bring you more food. And they just keep going until they're done feeding you. So you don't have much of a say in what you eat there. Sounds of Rome as a Vespa goes by. You can see the streets are very straight over here. Because again, it's very modern, 150 years or so. So the roads are straight, they're not cobblestone. It was made for the people. There's a magazine stand. We still have a lot of those. They kind of sell the touristy stuff, in addition to newspapers. Newspaper culture is very big here. You'll see still a lot of older people will come and get the newspaper in the morning. They go sit on a bench and read it. So you'll start to notice a change pretty quickly from the local cafes I took you to a minute ago, Fiorentina and Cafe Gourmet, where just the locals would go by the market. And now, because we're just a block or so from the Vatican Museums, everything is getting more touristy. Like this place has pancakes and waffles, and everything's written in English. This street here is still mostly for the residential area. There's another movie theater, clothing shops, not touristy type clothing, not big names, just small Italian brands. But as we cross the street here, you'll see there's a Burger King, which surprisingly, that's not for the locals. I mean, that's not for the tourists. A lot of locals would go to Burger King. There's a church at the end of the street. This street leads all the way down to like the Piazza del Popolo area. There's a lot of police checking drivers there are restrictions on where certain people can drive, so they'll flag down people when they're coming through. This place just opened up. It is a fish taco restaurant. And every day, we're in this area a lot. Every day there's a line of like 40 people waiting to get in. So it's very popular right now. Fish tacos. And just in front of me, you can see the walls of the Vatican. There's more touristy shops across the street selling like fake soccer jerseys. Well, they're not fake, they're real, but they're not the authentic ones. Yeah, the tourists don't want to eat at Burger King, Claudia mentions. But like Italian kids love McDonald's and Burger King. It's so quiet. Good morning, Donna. All right, so now we're at the walls of the Vatican. So just up the street to the right, the Vatican Museums. Entrance is right down there. And if you follow this wall, that takes you to St. Peter's. I'm gonna cross over here. There's no traffic, so I'm not gonna wait for the light. I'm just gonna cross. What's with all the scooters on the sidewalk? That's parking, so that's just where they park them. If you have a scooter, you can do pretty much anything you want. So they'll park them anyway, anywhere. So for those just joining us, I'm just walking around the Trionfale neighborhood. Now I'm in Prati. I went to get a coffee at one of my favorite cafes. And it's just to let you see Rome in the morning. Here's the Vatican Museums again. Those buildings behind the wall. It's so quiet. Goodness. Cut through here. So you can see again, we went from the residential area to now there's like tons of shops that sell tours and skip the line places. Of course, they're not very busy these days, but because of where we are, there's another one across the street. Here's a luggage storage. So you can tell we're in the touristy part. Well, I'll be showing you the Vatican. I guess I could walk over there. I'm really just walking home, so I don't know. I haven't seen that place before. Everything's closed. Here's another touristy shop. Thanks, DJ. I'm gonna try to do this every day, I think. Just walks while I'm out. Spontaneous. People seem to enjoy it. Here's more modern apartment buildings. The sign for the McDonald's. First Cup Sunday. I could call it. I don't know. I think I'm going to do these every day. So they won't have a name, and it'll just be spontaneous. You'll just have to be on when I do it. You can see the Apostolic Apartments, the Apostolic Palace up there. So that's where the Pope's office is, and lots of other Vatican offices. The Vatican Museum is currently closed. All museums in Italy are closed through December 3rd. Get up to a busier street in just a second. This is for tables for this restaurant. So lots of these popping up, as I mentioned earlier, because now restaurants can have outdoor seating without paying a fee. And if they want to stay in business, they need more outdoor seating because they can't have as many people inside. Here's Castroni. So this place has a lot of international foods, so things that are difficult to find. So some American food, like they have, I don't know, like Chips Ahoy cookies. They have brown sugar, which is hard to find. A lot of different Asian foods. A lot of liquors too. So, oh, here's the chalk guy. So this guy goes all around the Prati area and he draws with chalk on the sidewalk. And he'll draw like the people that work there. Now he's just writing the name of this cafe. But it's very good, very famous. So you can see he drew a cappuccino, coffee beans, cornetto, a fresh cornetto, fresh pastry because it has the smoke coming off of it. All right, so out of pumpkin. Oh, so there's a circulation block today. So that means that cars can't enter the city center without valid reason, I guess. They're really trying to keep people home as much as possible. So directly in front of us is the Vatican. I'll go ahead and take you over there so you can see. But we have more and more touristy shops coming up just because of the area. Right behind me is the metro. So if we go back where those trees are, that's the metro, which is the Vatican stop. And so this street here gets a lot of tourists on their way to the Vatican Museums at St. Peter's. And so it's also where a lot of the skip the line people stand and harass everybody that walks by. Super annoying. This place here, Amalfi Pizza. There's one right there. And then also right there across the street, it's the same restaurant. Very good Naples style pizza, Neapolitan pizza. So that's where they have the thicker crust. So that's one of our favorites. So now we're on Piazza Risorgimento. You can see the Dome of St. Peter's there. Again, the Apostolic Palace to the left of it. At the end of the street, I've taken you here before. Pergamino Cafe. That's one of my other favorite cafes. And right beside there, you can see that big B. Let's see if I can point to it. No, I can't point to it. That big B right there. That is a brewery. And also they have trapezzino sandwiches, which really good. So I love, no mellow mushroom, no. I love the buildings around Piazza Risorgimento. So these are all apartments up here. I like the colors, oranges and pinks. Really pretty. Just imagine the view they have on the top floor of the Vatican. Okay, so walking across the piazza. No, DJ. You're thinking of Bastiones. We didn't pass that. I crossed the street right in front of it. It's now called Spaghetti, and it's owned by a different person. Terrible name. And the orange pasta guy, he's semi-retired. He comes out for special events. Here's a sister crossing the street. And again, no cars coming, so I can just walk across. You see there's a traffic light now, so normally I would have to wait for that to turn green before I could cross. And we have soldiers over here. That's they've been doing that for a couple years now. That really started when ISIS said they were going to conquer Rome and kill the Pope, which of course didn't happen, but that's when Rome got a little more strict with security. This here is Our Lady of Grace. And the reason that icon is here, I mean, you see icons all over Rome, but this building used to be the church, Madonna delle Grazie. And then during the war, I think it was bombed or something happened. And so they moved the church. We actually passed it a few minutes ago. I said, there's a church way down the street. They moved the church, and so they put an icon there to remember where the church used to be. So this is still all the Vatican wall. See all the apartments back there, and oops, the Vatican newspapers back there. Coming up on another church, Church of Santana. Yeah, there are no peddlers out today. There's really no one for them to peddle to because it's all locals. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but the bells of St. Peter are ringing. Here's a cafe that I would never recommend anybody go to. The servers dress up in little tuxedo shirts and bow ties. And then they charge, like $10 for a coffee, and they just rip people off. Here's the Church of Santana. So this is another one of the churches inside the Vatican. You can see it's behind the wall. But it's open to anyone. So if you're ever in Rome and you want to go to this church, you just go to the gate here. You'll see the Swiss guards standing there in a second. I don't want to film them, but you'll see them standing there. So you just go up through this little doorway here, right to the left of the church, and you can walk right in. So it's open to everyone. All right, the Vatican's up there, but because it's Sunday, they have the street closed because they file everyone in through security. So we have to take the long way around. And I probably won't get all the way close, but I'll at least let you see St. Peter's Square. Here's the Vatican Mcdonald's. So this is a building owned by the Vatican. And there's a McDonald's in it, so it's nicknamed the Vatican Mcdonald's. Really good coffee here. And I'm not just saying that, it's true. All right, so we will go, so this is Borgo Pio. So now we're in the Borgo region. We went through Trionfale, then into Prati, and now the Borgo. You can hear the McDonald's making their coffee as we walk by. All right, so this is the wall that connects the apostolic apartment, which I'll show you in a second. Right up there, that big squared off building. So this wall connects the apartment all the way to Castle Sant'Angelo down the street. And it was used as a way for the popes to escape if they were ever under attack. So there's a walkway inside the wall. So we have this barricaded off, so it can't go that way either. So we'll just cut up through here. They're doing restoration on the wall. So this has been fenced in for a while, but they've been cleaning it. And you can see we're in a much older neighborhood now because there's the cobblestone everywhere. So we're walking away from St. Peter's. We'll get to the street up here and cut through to Conciliazione, where I'll show you St. Peter's Basilica. And then I'll let you go to sleep. More of the wall. You can actually see the windows. See the little slits in the wall. Those are the windows in the walkway. And this goes all the way down to the castle. I don't think we'll see... No, you can't see the end of the wall from here. I hear some bells from far away. I can't tell which church it is, though. All right, so the end of the street is Conciliazione, where you'll be able to see St. Peter's. You see security is set up here. They make everybody go through metal detectors on Sundays before they can get to the piazza. Even though the Angelus is not until noon, and it's only 9 something now, they just want to make sure that nobody has any weapons. So this is Conciliazione that leads from the historic part of Rome. I have been in the walkway, DJ. They open it up in the summer as part of the tour of the castle. Do I speak fluent Italian? No. I get by, but I would not say I'm fluent at all. So Conciliazione leads all the way to St. Peter's. Gorgeous view. You see there's really nobody here yet because it's still a couple hours before he comes out. And he has a mass this morning inside, closed to the public. Beautiful day. You got to see a couple new neighborhoods, have a coffee, and now see St. Peter's. Not a bad way to start the day. Yeah, mass for the World Day of Poor. That's right. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm going to go home. Hope you enjoyed this stroll through Rome. We'll do this again. Have a good night. Ciao.